All right, so come down onto your mat in constructive rest. Feet about to the outer edges of your mat, or just whatever width feels good to your body's proportions. And then let your knees drop in towards each other. Give a second to let everything get arranged so you find a nice, soft, comfortable position with your body. And then just as you find your way into that nice settling in situation, take a nice deep breath in and see if you can just feel into the front of your hips, or that area where your front pockets would be. Breathe into that space. And then as you exhale, can you just let your low back get a little softer and a little heavier? And then as you become a little bit more settled in, just kind of notice, tune in if there's any parts of your body that could use a little wiggle around or a little rearrangement. Give yourself a second to find those happier places to be. And then once you're there, just take about 3 nice deep breaths. Good morning, Sunny. We're starting in constructive rest, so just come on down when you're ready. Take one more moment here, just noticing your breath. And then when you're ready, we're just going to start to gently turn the head side to side. So nothing fancy. It doesn't even need to be full range of motion. Just start to turn your head side to side. But rather than focusing on the musculature of the neck or that efforted turn so that you can get that full range of motion, just notice the back of your head that's connected to the floor. So there's a light bit of massaging that happens there, just gently rolling the head side to side. Sometimes if your hair is positioned just so, it might create little hurdles, so notice that. Sometimes just that little turning of the head side to side might create a little bit of sound, so maybe just tune in and listen for a moment. Take one more turn of the head side to side, and then as your head comes back to center, right hand's going to reach over and across to the left rib. So we're going to spread the fingers nice and wide, fan them out, find a nice spread of the hands on your left side ribs. Take a big giant breath in. Slow breath out. Focus on breathing into the rib cage. So nice, big, expansive breath. Nice, big breath in. Slow breath out. One more breath deep into the rib cage. Just let the ribs expand. Awesome. And then when you're ready, switch over to the other side. So left hand's going to reach across, spread the fingers nice and wide, get a good wide handhold on the right side of the ribs. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath, breathing deep into the rib cage, letting the ribs expand. Wonderful. And then bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Take a moment to just find a soft position with your arms, with your elbows. Take one gentle breath here. And then pause for a moment in this stillness and set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. From here, we're going to take it right into a 4-part breath or square breathing. So we're going to breathe in for the count of 4, hold the breath for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and then retain the exhale for a count of 4. So take that inhalation for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain the exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain the breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Retain your exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through that cycle one more time, just using your own personal count. And then once you've completed that square breathing, we're going to release our arms into our I Dream of Jeannie arms, or that square across the chest, and then start to pull your elbows side to side, just pulling across the midline of the body. As you start to pull the elbows side to side, you might notice your legs and your hip flexors or your feet might have pressed a little bit into the earth to help maintain a little bit of your structure. So it's kind of fun to just tune in sometimes and notice where the rest of the body gets involved when we're doing something that might feel pretty simple, but the rest of the body is always involved. It's all one connected unit. So take one more pull gently side to side, and then we're just going to switch the cross in our arms. So switch your handhold and then come right back to that pull. Nice. Take one more pull side to side, and then arms are going to float up into cactus or goalpost arms. Take 3 turns of the head side to side. So 3 times each side. So that might count to 6 if you like that more even position of your counts. And then as you bring your head back to center or to a neutral position, we're going to start to bring our windshield wipers down to the knees. So start with a small range of motion. Give a little bit of time, kind of tune in, notice how the hip flexors feel, or that front pocket area. Notice how your hips feel. Notice how your back feels, and kind of tune in at this point to your energy level. Have you been getting a good night's sleep lately? Have you been eating nutritious food? Just kind of tune in and notice where you're at this morning. Maybe start to increase that range of motion of your knees. Take one more windshield wiper each side, and then we're going to walk the feet in a little closer. Feet are going to come about hip width distance apart. Hands are going to float down alongside the hips. We're going to go reverse breath, pelvic tilt. So we're going to inhale, press the low back into the ground. Exhale, come to the natural curve of your back. Inhale and press your low back down. Exhale to release. Inhale, press your low back down. Exhale to release. Now we're going to move into a halfway bridge. So we're going to exhale, lift the hips up. Inhale and release back down. Exhale and lift up. Inhale, release back down. Exhale to lift up. Inhale, release back down. The soles of the feet are going to walk together. Knees come out to the left and to the right into a reclined butterfly position, but just one breath. So let the knees drop out. And then when you're ready, pull the knees together, inner thighs together, feet together. Push your knees in towards each other. Hold that active position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that position. Step your feet back out to hip width distance apart. Exhale, lift up into that halfway bridge and hold that halfway bridge. Focus on keeping the backs of your ribs connected or anchoring down towards the ground. And then imagine you're reaching your knees towards your toes. Shoulder heads are going to press down. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, roll down through your spine. So think a nice little gentle 1 vertebrae at a time, if you like that little imagery, rolling down through your spine. And then once you're all the way down, pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a gentle rock side to side. And then from here, we're going to move right into an active wind relieving pose. So right knee is going to pull into the chest. Left leg is going to extend nice and long. Inhale as you switch and exhale as you squeeze your knee in towards your chest. If you want that more active dynamic work, you might think about pulling the abdominal muscles down, curling up the head, neck, and chest, keeping that more active position. If you want a gentler, lighter position of the body, you might choose to pull the knee into the chest, let the heel touch down, pause for a moment in that position, and then switch. So take the position that feels the best to you this morning. Beautiful. The next time the right knee pulls into the chest, bend the left knee, set the left knee down so that it's in that bridge preparatory position. And then we're going to release the right knee, send the right leg up towards the ceiling. We're going to take 3 leg lifts here. So we're going to point the toe, reach the leg nice and long, pull the toe back up towards the ceiling. You can bend the knee as much as feels good to you here. Reach the toe nice and long, let the heel hover above the ground, pull it back up, reach the toe nice and long, pull the toe back up towards the ceiling and bend that knee, set it down so that that right leg is in that bridge preparatory position, and then left leg is going to reach up towards the sky. You bend that left knee as much as feels right to you, point the toe, reach it out towards the end of your mat, and then kick that foot right back up towards the ceiling. Reach the toe nice and long, kick it back up towards the ceiling. One more just like that, reach the toe nice and long, kick it back up towards the ceiling, bend that knee, set the foot down. Right knee is going to pull back into the chest. Left leg is going to slide long to the end of the mat. And then we're going to take 3 supine twists, but with a little bit of a dynamic action. So pull that right knee over and across the body, pull it right back into the chest. Pull the knee over and across the body. Let your hips roll with you. Bring it back into the chest. One more time. Pull the knee over and across the body. Bring the knee back into the chest and then switch. Left knee in, right leg goes nice and long. Some dynamic supine twists here. Pull the knee over to the right, bring it back to center, pull the knee over to the right, bring it back to center. One more time here. Pull the knee over to the right, bring it back to center, pull both knees into the chest, and then we're going to rock and roll our way up to a seated ragdoll fold. So you might choose to hold on to the backs of the thighs, take a couple of good rocks and rolls, come all the way up to a seated position, and then extend the legs out in front of you. Super big, generous bend of the knees, a little bit of space for the belly and the chest, and then just fold yourself over. Catch hold of your toes, make that space for yourself, and then soften. Soften the back of your neck. Breathe into the back of the body. Breathe into the back of your rib cage, and then just kind of notice that gentle stretch that happens here in the low back. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, walk yourself up nice and slow. We're going to come right into Sukhasana or easy seat. So cross your legs, find a nice tall seat. So you get that nice upright spine, and then take it right into a seated twist. Left hand's going to reach over to the right knee, right hand comes behind you. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, release, take your twist over to the other side. Come back to center, and then we'll take it right into a side bend. Right hand's going to touch down, left hand's going to reach up. Lift up and take it over to the other side. Wonderful. Lift up. Let your hands rest on your knees for a moment. Roll the shoulders down and back, and then we're going to do a little double chin. So we're going to pull the chin in and back so that the head, the heart, the hips are all in line. And once you've got that, you're going to keep that little bit of a double chin maneuver. Drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Take one more breath. Lift your head back to center, and then just kind of tune in and notice if your body tends to just want to let that chin go. Now pull that chin back in, find that double chin position, and then drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Beautiful. Bring your head back to center. Inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Inhale, lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Inhale, lift your chin up and hold. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Stay there. Beautiful. And then bring your head back up to that neutral position. Find that double chin action. So pull the chin in and back, and then keep the chin in and back. And you're going to start to turn your head a little bit side to side. So it might change your range of motion to start. And we want to see if we can keep and maintain that little bit of a double chin position. It's just going to kind of change the muscles that we're using or the muscles that we're getting to activate. Take one more turn of the head side to side, and then bring your head back to center. Keep that double chin position. Drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Once you've got your way there, take a little gentle nod of the head up and down. One more nod of the head up and down, and then bring your head back to center. Find that double chin again. Drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. And then once you're there, if it feels good, nod your head up and down. Nice. One more nod of the head up and down, and then bring your head back to center. Move right into a seated cat-cow. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your chest, arch your back. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your chin. Exhale to round your back. One more cycle through. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round your back. We're going to lift the hearts from the hands behind the back. Nice tall fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift the chest, lift your chin. Get a nice opening through the chest and the collarbones. Take one more breath. And then release right into an easy seated forward fold. So swim your hands forward, hinge from your waist, start to reach yourself out just to a point that feels good. So if you feel any yucky sensation in the knees or in the low back, you may have gone too far. So just pull yourself back a little bit, but if all feels good, take 2 more cycles of breath. When you feel ready, slowly start to walk your hands back up and in. Now from this easy seated position, you might choose to just flip yourself up into a tabletop position, or you come into your tabletop in any way that seems appropriate to your body. Once you found your way into your tabletop position, just give a second, make sure your clothes feel comfortable, make sure your knees feel happily cushioned and your wrists feel good. And then once you're there, we're going to just take that little wag of the tail. So drop your hips a little side to side. Here's a great place where you might tune in and notice a little bit more, how are your knees feeling? Take one more bop of the hips side to side. And then as you come back to center, we're going to slide the right leg long. Toes curled under, take 3 rocks forward and back. And then press back into that heel. Hold it there. Take one big cycle of breath. Nice. And to release, imagine you're pushing into your toes and the balls of your feet. So let the foot do the work to bring your shoulders back in line with the wrist. And then once you're there, slide that foot in, switch over to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under. Take about 3 rocks forward and back. Awesome. And then hang out in that press back position. Take one big breath. Imagine you're pushing yourself forward with the toe and the ball of the feet. So push yourself forward so the shoulders come back in line with the wrist. Beautiful. And then slide that leg back in. We're going to move right into spinal balance. Right leg, left hand are going to slide out. You might choose to keep your limbs touching down onto the ground, but if it feels good and stable, extend and lift up. Gaze down at the floor and then see if you can find that little double chin maneuver. Imagine you're pulling your chin in and back. Beautiful. Take one more breath. Release with control and then switch over to the other side. Left leg, right hand are going to slide out. Now you might choose to keep your limbs touching onto the ground, but if it feels good to do so and you feel stable, lift up, find that double chin action. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release that back down. Make sure you've got your legs and your hips in a nice position so it feels good and sturdy down at the bottom half of the body. firm up your abdomen. So think about pulling the belly button just up a little bit so you broaden the shoulders, and we're going to keep that really nice stable position. Right hand's going to reach back and touch the back of the head, but everything else is going to stay as stable and stationary as it can. And then release that right hand down, switch over to the left. Left hand's going to reach back, touch the back of the head, everything else stay stable. Beautiful. Release that hand back down. Right hand, touch the back of the head. Release it back down, back over to the left, reach up, touch the back of the head. Nice. Back to that right hand, but now right hand's going to reach up, touch the back of the head, hold here. Right elbow is going to rotate towards the right elbow pit, and then lift that right elbow up as high as your body will allow. Right elbow or to left elbow pit. Lift that right elbow up as high as your body allows. Beautiful. One more time through. Right elbow to left elbow pit. Lift the right elbow up nice and high. And then when you're ready, come back to a neutral position, release that hand down, switch over to the other side. Left hand to the back of the head. Once you're there, left elbow to the right elbow pit, and then rotate and lift that elbow up. Nice. Elbow to elbow pit and lift up. Beautiful. One more time through. Elbow to elbow pit. Lift up as high as your body will allow, and then release that hand down. We're moving right into puppy pose. Keep your hips fairly in line with your knees. Walk your hands towards the top edge of your mat. Make a little space for your shoulders to snuggle in, and then just let your forehead soften down. Once you're there, take 3 nice big breaths. When you feel ready, slowly and mindfully walk yourself back up to that tabletop position. We're going to pick the right leg up in a 90-degree bend. So we're going to think tiger pose. So knee in line with the glutes or knee in line with the hips, a little bit of a flex in the foot, and then 5 little pulses of the foot, like you're just pushing your heel up towards the ceiling. Go about 5 times. And then on that last push, push your heel up towards the ceiling, lift your chest just a little bit, engage all the muscles through the back of the body. Hold it there for 1 big breath. And then with control, release it down, switch over to the other side. Left leg is going to lift, a little bend in that knee, a little flex in the foot, 5 pulses of that foot up towards the ceiling. And then on that last push, push your heel up, lift your chest just a little bit. Beautiful. And then release it down with control. Big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Come to extended child's pose. Pull your butt back toward your heels. Make some space for your belly, make some space for your chest, and then let everything soften down. Take about 5 nice big breaths here. From here, we're going to find our way up sitting on our heels. So if you like that position and it's comfortable for your knees, start to walk yourself back up so that you're sitting up on your heels. And now we're going to pick up the hands, rotate the fingers in, and we're going to take 3 lines breath here. So fingers are going to rotate in, palms are going to press down into the ground. So you're going to feel a big stretch in the wrists. Make sure your elbows and your forearms feel comfortable, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Get a little lift in the heart. 3 lines breath. If you don't like doing the lines breath, just 3 regular breaths for you. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, stick out your tongue, look to your third eye, and let it out. Nice deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. 1 more breath. Exhale, let it go. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release your hands, float yourself forward, walk your knees back in, curl your toes under it, take an exhale and bring it into a downward facing dog. And then take a few pedals of the legs. Bend 1 knee and press into the opposite heel. One or 2 more pedals of the legs, and we're going to bring the shoulders forward so that they're in line with the wrists. So we're going to float through a plank position. So just shift yourself forward so that your shoulders come in line with the wrists. And then once you found your way there, gently float the knees down, release your toes, lower gently onto your belly. Once you come all the way down, just arrange your arms so that they're comfortable, bend both knees, and swish your heels side to side. Take a moment here to just kind of notice the tops of your thighs or your quadricep muscles. So this maneuver is soothing to the low back, but it also offers up just a little gentle massage to the thighs. So just see if you can notice that little massaging action. Cool. Take one more swish of the knees side to side, and then we're going to keep the right knee bent. Let the left toes touch down to the ground. See if you can reach your right hand back, catch hold of that foot. Once you've caught hold of the foot, you're going to think about pushing your foot into your hand. So activate the quadricep muscles. Feel your thigh muscles kick on. Push your foot into your hands. Take one big breath. Exhale, soften that push, and then release that hand hold. Float your foot down, switch over to the other side. Left knee is going to bend. Reach back, see if you can catch hold of the foot. If you catch hold of the foot, push your foot into your hand. Activate the quadricep muscles. Feel those muscles kick on. Take one big breath. And then relax that muscle contraction. Release your foot. Float your foot down to the ground. 3 low cobras from here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Nice. One more time through. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. We're going to push our way back to child's pose. So big toes together, knees together. Push your way all the way back. And then once you're there, give a second to just create a little bit of space so your belly and your chest feel comfortably snuggled in. Once you feel like you're in a good position, slide your hands back. If you can, let your hands touch the soles of your feet. Soften the back of your neck. So if you're lifted your head or you're gazing forward now, see if you can just look down at your mat or soften here for a moment. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath. Now, this shape might feel like a better place to be if you're taking a more restful approach to your practice this morning. But now if you want to get a little bit more active, as you inhale, you're going to activate the muscles in the back of your body, airplane your arms, so a little reach through the fingers, a little lift of the chest away from the thighs, and then exhale, soften back down, round through the back of the body. Do that again if it feels good. Inhale, lift up, engage the muscles in the back of the body. Beautiful. Exhale and soften down. If it feels good to do so, do that one more time. Inhale to lift. Exhale to soften down. And now we're going to go a little bit further. So we're going to take our hands to the low back. We're going to push into the shins and the tops of the feet. Inhale, come up to a high kneel and lift your arms up and overhead, look to the sky. Exhale, bring your butt back towards your heels. Hands are going to find the low back. Awesome. If that felt great, do it again. Inhale, lift up, reach your arms up, look towards the sky. Exhale, butt back to the heels, hands to the low back. One more time through if it feels good. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to bring it back. Slide your hands forward, float your way up to a tabletop position. Take one cat-cow here. So move your knees so that they're in hip width distance apart. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back, tuck your chin into your chest, broaden your shoulders. Inhale to a neutral spine, curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Take a pedal or 2 of each leg. And then when you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice folded ragdoll at the top of your mat. So feet in a slightly wider position. So there's plenty of space for your belly and your chest. Super generous bend in the knees, and then just let your arms be super heavy. Let your head hang super heavy, and take 3 nice deep breaths here. Check your feet, make sure they feel nice and anchored on the ground. We're going to move into a halfway forward fold. So as you inhale, hands are going to glide up to the shins, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, bend your knees, soften back down towards the ground. Right back to that half forward fold. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to soften down. One more time through. Inhale, lift up. Keep that 7 shape of the body. Walk your hands up to the hip creases. So we're going to walk up to those hip creases and then gently push into the hip creases so you find a little bit of traction or a little length in the spine. Imagine your tailbone's reaching to the back end of your mat. Crown of the head is reaching towards the wall ahead of you. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then we're going to release into a little bit of a supported chair position. So think butt back towards the heels, a little weight into the heels. And then from here, we're going to allow just a little bit of the heart to be forward so that we're pushing into the knees, and take 3 Uddiyana Bandhas, so that flying up root lock. So we're going to take a nice big inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in, hold it for a moment, release the abdominal muscles, take an inhale. Exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in, Hold it for a moment and then release the abdominal muscles. Take an inhale. One more time, exhale. At the end of the exhale, suck the belly in. Hold it for a moment. And then when you're ready, release the abdominal muscles, push into your feet, rise up. And then as you rise up, we're going to start to scrape the gum off the bottoms of our feet. So you're going to push into the ball of the foot and drag the foot back. So what we want to see if we can find, if it helps you find it, bring your hands to the backs of your thighs. And as you push into the ball of the feet and scrape the gum off the bottom of your shoe, see if you can feel the hamstring muscles kick on to help push that foot. Nice. Take one more push of each foot. And then when you're ready, find yourself to the front end of your mat, find your mountain pose. Anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. 3 lifts of the heels here. Inhale, lift your heels up away from the floor, just as high as feels good to you. Exhale, lower back down with control. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower down. One more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, arms up, reach your arms up and then hold them there like you're holding a ball above your head. Keep that uplifted position with your arms, lift your heels. Hold that nice tall mountain pose, take one more breath. And then as you exhale, float the heels down, hinge from your waist, bend your knees, fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to standing. As you roll up, you're going to lift the shoulders all the way up to the ears, roll them around, down and back. Inhale, reach your arms up, grab that beach ball, lift your heels. As you exhale, float the heels down, bend your knees, sweep those arms down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up, roll the shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back. One more time through just like that. Inhale, arms up, grab that beach ball, lift your heels, find that tall mountain. When you're ready, float the heels down, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, sweep the arms down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down and back. Right hand's going to touch down to the thigh, left hand's going to reach up. Take one big side bend, and then right away, lift up. Left hand touches down, right hand reaches up, lean over the other way. Beautiful. Lift back up, both hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers, draw the knuckles down, squeeze between the shoulder blades, open the heart, lift your chin, take one big breath. Release your arms, come back to mountain pose, and then pause for a moment. So see if you can find a little bit of a lift from the soles of the feet, a little energetic lift through the front of your body, like you're just kind of brightening everything up a little bit. Or as Trish likes to say, find that little bubbling spring pulling up from the soles of your feet and then reach that bubbling spring all the way up through the crown of your head. Ooh, I like that. Take one more breath. When you're ready, inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to go to warrior 2. Step the right leg back, drop the heel down, turn the toes out. Right hand is going to pick you up. Nice. So left knee is bent, left hand is forward, right hand is reaching back towards that right thigh. Once you've got yourself arranged here, we're going to take that right hand, reach it to that back thigh into a light peaceful warrior. So right hand's going to find the back thigh first. Flip the left palm so it's facing up towards the ceiling. Reach forward just slightly as if you're trying to present a little present to somebody, and then lift it all the way up to the sky. Look to that hand as you lift up. Wonderful. And now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. So left hand's going to spin down first. As you spin your hands down, that right heel is going to pivot around. So we float right through a runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank. Beautiful. Once you're there, bring your knees down, gently lower onto your belly, one low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up just a little bit. Exhale to lower down. We're going to press our way up to a tabletop position as you curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up nice and high. Take one big breath. Look forward, soften your knees, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice soft fold at the top of your mat. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up, roll your shoulders all the way up to your ears, roll them around, down and back. Find your mountain pose, find that nice bubbly lift from the soles of the feet up through the crown of your head. Take one big breath. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Knees bent or straight, totally up to you, just whatever feels good. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior two. Drop the back heel down, turn the toes out to the left. Left hand is gonna pick you up. Beautiful. Take a second just to find that nice solid position. And then once you feel like you're there, left hand's gonna touch back to that back thigh. Look to the right hand, flip the palm so it's facing up towards the ceiling. Lean forward just slightly like you're presenting a present, and then lift it up towards the sky and look to your hand as you lift up. Nice. And then when you're ready, spin your hands down to the ground. So right hand's gonna reach first, pivot your back foot, find your runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant the palms, step back to a plank. Pause in your plank just for a moment, just to find a little bit of strength. And then when you're ready, bring your knees down, gently lower onto your belly. One low cobra here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Curl your toes under. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back, and then come back to that scraping of the gum off the shoe. So press into the ball of the feet, get those hamstring muscles kicking on just a little bit. One more little scrape of each foot, and then find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back to warrior two. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out to the right. Right hand is gonna pick you up. Beautiful. So it's left hand forward, right hand to the back of the mat, left knee is forward. Once you've found that nice position, we're gonna move right into a triangle pose from here. So nice and strong. Straighten that left leg. You can keep a micro bend in that knee. Pop your right hip out. So you're reaching your right hip towards the back end of your mat. But as you reach that hip out, ribs are going to reach towards the front end of your mat. And then keep that reach all the way down to your place that feels right. You might choose your thigh. You might choose your shin. You might choose the floor. That'll just depend on variations within our own hips. So find a position that feels good. And then imagine you're pulling the left side of the ribs, those bottom ribs, pull them forward. Extend your right arm up towards the sky. Look up towards the ceiling if that feels available. You can always keep your head forward or look down at the ground if that feels more solid. Once you feel like you've got yourself in a nice strong position, take 3 nice big breaths. Wonderful. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift yourself up, reverse your triangle, drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to that left hand. We're going to pivot around, bend that front knee like you're floating through your warrior two, but then pivot that back heel, spin your hands around and down, find your runner's lunge. Lovely. Plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower your knees, lower with control onto your belly. Fingertips are going to walk in towards each other. So we're going to keep the elbows wide. Fingertips are going to point in towards each other. Plant your palms. 3 cobras here, but as high as you like. So press into your palms. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Inhale and lift your heart up nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. One more time through. Inhale, lift your heart up nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Slide your hands around so fingertips are pointing towards the top of your mat. Curl your toes under. Either push your way up to a tabletop or power up to a plank, and then find your way up to a down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that nice 7 shape with the body. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Scrape the gum off your shoes. One more time each foot, and then settle both feet down. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior two. We come through that warrior two. So drop the back heel down, turn the toes out to the left. Left hand picks you up. Take a second here to just find that bit of strength. And then once you feel like you've got your legs in a nice position, straighten that front leg, pop that left hip out, reach the ribs forward, find some length and space through the side of the body, and then let your hand land wherever feels the most proper for you. Maybe the thigh, maybe the shin, maybe your yoga block, and then catch hold of those right ribs. Pull those right ribs forward. Once you've got those ribs pulling forward, extend the left hand up towards the sky, maybe look up, maybe look forward, or maybe look down. That'll just depend on what feels best to your head. One more breath here. Strong legs, strong side body. Lift yourself up. Left hand's going to touch to the back of the thigh. Right hand's going to reach up. Reverse your triangle. Nice. And then float through your warrior two. Pivot that back heel. Spin your hands around so you come into your runner's lunge. Awesome. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Bring your knees down. Lower with control onto your belly. Now take it into drunken serpent. So hands off the edges of your mat, nice tall cupcake hands or piano fingers. Inhale, lift your heart up nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Right shoulder up and back. Inhale, lift the right shoulder and look over. Exhale to lower down. Lovely. Take it to the left. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale to lower down, back to center. Inhale, lift your heart up nice and high. Exhale to lower down, slide your hands in, either power up to a plank or take it from a tabletop position, and then find your way up to downward facing dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that space in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides, lift your heels up away from the floor, nice and strong. Strong feet, strong ankles, a nice energetic lift through the front of the body. So imagine the front of your body just brightens up and lifts upward towards the ceiling. Take one more moment here, nice and strong. We're going to float into a chair position from here. So you're going to float your heels down, think butt back, bend your knees, arms are going to reach up and forward. Keep that chair position. We're going to add a little twist. So left hand's going to reach towards the right knee. Right hand's going to reach back, leverage against that right knee, reach that right hand back, look to your thumb, take one big breath. When you're ready, release, switch over to the other side. Right hand's going to find the outer edge of the left knee. Left hand's going to reach back, leverage against that knee. Both hands are going to release back to center, reach the arms out, take one more breath. And then on your next exhale, fold yourself down. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to downward facing dog. Right leg is going to come up nice and high into three-legged dog. We're going to step that foot up to the top right corner of our mat. So we're going to step it to the outside of the pinky finger, nice wide lunge. And then once you're there, bring the left knee down, release your left toes. Nice. And now go half splits, but keep the toes on the ground. So we're going to bring a little stretch or length through the top of the foot. So keep your toes reaching towards the top of the mat, pull your butt back, bend your knee, lift your heart. Pull the butt back. Beautiful. Come forward, bend your knee, lift your heart. One more time through. Pull your butt back. Bend your knee, lift your heart. Keep your left hand on the ground. Right hand is going to reach up to the sky. Wonderful. Float that hand down to the ground. Curl the back toes under. Pick your back knee up. We're going to kick that right leg up nice and high into three-legged dog. So slide that leg back with a little bit of strength and control. Reach that foot up towards the ceiling. And now we're going to take that right knee towards right elbow. So hug it in. Now you might choose to just go back to a down dog here. But if you like a little action, right knee to right elbow, kick that leg up nice and high. Right knee towards the left elbow across the midline of the body. Kick that leg up nice and high. Beautiful. Right knee towards your nose, a little rounding through the back of the body. Kick that leg up nice and high, and then release that foot down to the ground, taking that down dog to the other side, or three-legged dog. So left leg is going to lift up nice and high. Left foot's going to step up to the top left corner of the mat. So outside of that pinky finger, drop the right knee down, release the toes. Beautiful. Pull your hips back. Keep the toes on the ground. Awesome. Bend the knee, lift your heart. Pull your butt back. Bend that knee and lift your heart. One more time. Pull your butt back. Bend your knee, lift your heart. Right hand's going to stay on the ground. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky. Wonderful. Left hand down to the ground. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee up. Left leg is going to shoot up nice and high into that three-legged dog. We're going to take that left knee towards the left elbow, but you might choose to just take it to your down dog. Bend that knee, hug it in, get a little action. Beautiful. Lift that leg up nice and high. Left elbow towards the left knee towards the right elbow. Lift it up nice and high. Left knee toward your nose, a little rounding through the back of the body. Lift that leg up nice and high. Beautiful. And then set that foot down. Kick up your heels, lower your knees, come into a tabletop position. Nice. From here, right leg is going to extend out nice and long. Left toes swing over to the right side of your mat. Stack that right knee behind the left. So we get a little crisscross in our knees, but the toes are pointing in opposite directions. Awesome. And then when you're there, pull your butt back towards your heels and take 3 nice big breaths. On your next inhale, come forward, uncross your legs, and we're going to take that all to the other side. So left leg is going to extend out. Right toes are going to swing over to the left side of the mat. Tuck your left knee behind your right. So knees are stacked and toes are pointing in opposite directions. Once you've got your legs arranged, pull your butt back towards your heels and take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. On your next inhale, lift yourself on up, uncross your legs. From here, we're just going to spin it around so we're sitting on our butt and right into a wide leg seated fold. So spin your legs around and then step your feet out to a width that feels good to you. So we do want a little bit of engagement in the inner thighs. We want to feel a little bit of tug in the groin. And then we want to think about pulling the pinky toes back. So we want to keep our legs nice and active. Once you're there, we're going to make fists. Those fists are going to come behind you. Push your knuckles into the ground, lift your butt up away from the ground, and then just scoot your butt forward about 1 inch. Once you've got that scooch forward, set your butt down, release your hands, take a nice big breath, reach up, think hinge from the waist. So toes are actively pulling back, legs are active. Lean your heart forward just a little bit, nice and strong, and then bring yourself right back up to that upright position. Nice. Lean yourself forward just a little bit. Pull yourself back up nice and strong. This time we're going to lean forward. You're going to hold that position out nice and strong and then float your hands down to the ground. So everything else is staying just as it is. Once your hands touch down to the ground, soften a little bit and walk yourself out to a depth that feels good to you. Everybody's going to look different in this position. So just find a position that feels good. No shooting pain in the back, nothing happening in the knees. Take 2 more cycles of breath. We're going to come out of this nice and strong. So press into your fingertips, pull the abdominal muscles in towards the spine, drag your fingers, pull the ribs back, come back with a little strength, and then catch hold of the backs of the knees, bend your knees, pull the legs together. And now we're going to find our way down to the ground. So curl the tailbone under, roll your way down with a sense of control. Once you found your way down, walk your feet back in so that your feet are about hip width distance apart, coming back to that halfway bridge mark. So hands alongside the hips. First, start by pressing the shoulder heads and the backs of your arms into the ground. Once you feel like you've got that solid position with the upper body and the arms, press into the feet, spread your toes nice and wide. Exhale, lift your butt up away from the ground. Keep the backs of the ribs anchored into the earth. Reach your knees towards your toes. Shoulder heads are still pressing down. Arms are still pressing down. Take 1 more breath. Release your hips back down to the ground, toes together, knees out to the left and to the right, or soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. So come into your butterfly position. Take 3 nice big breaths here. On your next inhale, inner thighs together, knees together, thighs together, toes together. Push the knees actively in towards each other. Hold that action. So nice and steady. You might feel your muscles shake a little bit. You might feel a little bit of tension in the inner thighs. You might feel a little action working in the outer thighs. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release that tension. Step your feet about hip width distance apart. Hands alongside the hips. Anchor your shoulders. Press the backs of the arms into the ground. Exhale, lift your hips up to that halfway point. Backs of the ribs are still staying anchored. Knees are reaching towards the toes. Shoulder heads pressed down. Hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float your hips down. Right leg is going to come across the left, right into a figure 4 position. Hands free to start. Inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale to lower it back down. Inhale to lift up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Now we're going to thread the hands through. Grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin, just whatever hand hold works good for you, but a soft hold of that position. And then take your figure 4 and draw it in a couple of circles. Circle in one direction. Circle it the other way. Let the circles come to stillness and then draw the legs into your comfort level. See if you can let your shoulders be soft and heavy into the ground, a little sense of softness in your belly. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. And then when you're ready, gently release, uncross your right leg, take it right over to the other side. Left leg is going to come across the right, hands free to start. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale and lower it back down. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. One more time here. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. As you inhale, you're going to thread your hands through, maybe grab the back of the thigh or the top of the shin. That's just whatever feels like a better hold for you. And then once you're there, take your figure 4, draw it in a couple of circles, go in one direction. How big or deep you go with those circles, that's just whatever feels good to you. When you're ready, take your figure 4 circles and go the other way. Nice. And then let the circles come to stillness. Gently pull the legs into your comfort level. Soft shoulders, soft belly. Nice. And then from here, we're going to release our hold of our legs. Legs are going to float up into that reverse tabletop position. Arms are going to come out in a nice wide T, palms facing down. Hug the inner thighs together, drop the knees over to the right. Let them come all the way down to the ground. Try to keep that left shoulder as anchored towards the ground as you can. And then once the knees have found their way down to the ground on the right side, right hand to the outside of the thighs, push your thighs down into the ground, leveraging into that twist just a little bit more. Anchor your left shoulder and then turn your head to the left if it feels good. If you're holding onto your thighs, release your hand, anchor your arms, pull your legs back up to center, readjust anything that you need to. And then when you feel like you're ready, drop your knees over to the left, let them sink all the way down. Once your knees are down, anchor your right shoulder, left hand to the thighs, push the thighs down, push your right shoulder down, and then maybe turn your head to the right. Wonderful. When you're ready, return your head to center, release your hand, float your legs back up to that reverse tabletop position, anchor your arms, solidify your abdomen, and then take 3 alternating toe taps or 6 of each toe. Nice. And then once you've completed those toe taps, pull the knees in towards your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, and then we're going to swing the knees out just a little bit. So knees are going to be reaching towards the shoulders. So we're going to create a little space. Think of this as sort of a variation on a happy baby position. So there's a little bit of opening in the hips. Maybe you might feel a little tug in the inner thigh or the groin. Take one more breath. Wonderful. And then we're going to extend the legs out towards the end of our mat and take it into a fish position. So we're going to push into our elbows, prop yourself up just a little bit, and then walk your fingertips underneath your butt. So you're going to lift your hips up just a little bit, palms facing down, fingertips tucked under the bum. And then once you've got your way there, you're going to anchor into your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, point your toes. So a little energy all the way down to the ends of your feet. Once you feel like you've got your heart lifted a little bit, you choose your variation here. For some of us, tucking the chin into the chest feels like a better way to go. For some of us, letting the head drop back feels nice. So you choose which one feels better to you. You might play around, try them both, and then find the one you like. And then once you found the position you like best, lift your heart just a little bit higher, squeeze between the shoulder blades. This is this active position. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, soften just a little bit, walk your elbows out just a little bit, lower yourself down, release your fingers from underneath your bum, pause for a moment in constructive rest. So walk your feet out, let your knees drop in, and then just notice the benefits of that big heart opener. You might notice a little bit of blood flow back to the front of your body, a little bit of release in your arms and your shoulders. Take one more breath. And then start to ask yourself, where would be your best Shavasana? Would it feel good to stay in constructive rest? Do you need a little bit more self-care? Would it feel good to take legs up the wall if you have a wall available? Any other variation of the body that might feel good to you, take a minute to just find your way there. Take a second to work out all those little wiggles so your body, your hair, your clothes, everything feels nice and comfortable. And then before you deeply settle in, just take a moment to tune in and notice the rhythm of your breath. Are you breathing in through your nose and out through your nose? Or are you breathing in through your mouth? No right or wrong, but just notice. Can you hear the sound of your breath? No right or wrong, but just notice. As you breathe here, can you feel movement in your rib cage? No right or wrong, but just notice. Soften the space between your eyes. Soften your jaw. Soften your fingers and your toes. Notice if you're holding any tension in your abdomen or through the front of your hips. And if you are, see if you can just allow those places to get soft. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel called to do so, start to gently reawaken. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. If your legs were in reclined cobbler's pose or in that Supta Baddha Konasana, maybe pull your knees in. If your legs were in that more traditional shape, maybe walk your legs in so you've got a bent knee position. And then once you feel like your feet are anchored on the ground, we're going to lift the right leg up towards the sky and give it a good, vigorous shake. Shake it out like you've got water on the bottom of your foot and you're just trying to get it off. So give that leg a good shake. Take one more breath. And then float that foot down, switch right over to the other side. Left leg is going to reach up, give that foot a good shake. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, float that foot down. Both feet are going to stay anchored on the ground. Right hand's going to reach up to the sky. And like you've got water on your hand and you're trying to shake it off, shake your right arm. Nice, vigorous shake of the arm. You might feel it in your breath. You might notice it in your chest. And you might even notice it in your head just a little bit. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, float that hand down, switch right over to the other side. Left hand reaches up and give that left hand a really good, vigorous shake. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, float that hand down, maybe take a moment just to notice. You might feel a little vibration in the body. And then when you feel ready, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Come up in any way that works good for you. Maybe you sit in Sukhasana with legs crossed or any other seat that feels like a comfortable position to be in. And then once you found your way up, just take a second, kind of wiggle, jiggle yourself into a nice, happy position. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, close your eyes down. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and the time that you take to take care of yourself. The hand that's on the belly, stack that on top of the hand that's on your heart. Take one more breath. And then when you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy, happy, happy Thursday. Happy